Their kids have a lot of memories in this home, and Rick and Kirsten have lived here for a long time using this space, and it was really important to me to make sure that the changes that we were making were going to be not just aesthetically for the better, but actually like functionally for the better as well.
Hi, I'm Julie, and we're here at one of our recent remodels. This is Rick and Kirsten's home. This is in Lake Oswego, and this project was a remodel where they wanted to change and update the first level of their home to kind of prepare for the next stage of their life. We made some updates for aging in place, as well as some aesthetic and functional updates.
The house was built in 1963. It looked like it had had some updates done to it at some point, maybe in the 80s due to the finishes. So the layout of the home was originally pretty closed off. It had very zoned areas. The dining room was its own separate space. The living room was its own separate space. Everything was walled off.
The layout for this kitchen stayed roughly the same. We knew we wanted to keep the range, the sink, and the refrigerator in approximately the same location. We did eliminate this peninsula. It created a kind of a choke point with the walkthrough, as well as the clients were not really utilizing it for storage and did not like the separation it created between the family room and the kitchen. So this kitchen cabinet package is fully custom. They are walnut cabinets. This is a walnut veneer with a slim shaker doors profile. One of the reasons I really like drawer microwaves is because you don't have to lift anything hot out of an upper cabinet. Also, microwaves tend to be deep enough that if you have an upper cabinet with a microwave in it, it's going to stick out from the wall more than the rest of your uppers, which tends to not be the most visually beautiful. This is a cafe microwave, and it has a touch open and close, which is also really great for accessibility. You're not having to grip anything to open and close it, so it's very comfortable to open and close.
When you've lived in a home for a very long time, you have habits of how you use the space. And one of the things we did was we went through their kitchen. I had them open every single drawer, and I had them tell me, what do you use in this drawer, and how do you use it, and do you need this thing or not? Because everybody has drawers of things that they don't use and they're gonna get rid of, and everybody has drawers of like, this is how I use my kitchen every single day. You know, this is where I make my oatmeal every single morning. I wanted to really understand that so that we could talk through like, this is how this is going to change. What changes do you want? What changes do you not want? Because if you have a habit that's 20 years old that you don't want to change, I don't want to change that when I'm designing your kitchen. I want to keep that in mind for you. Keeping things like that in mind, I think, was really important for something like the kitchen. It's an area that you're investing a huge amount of money into, and you spend a fair amount of time there. So making sure that that was really functionally laid out in a practical way for them was really important.
Over here, we have a cabinet with a layered drawer. So we've got deep storage here, and then a shallow drawer here with custom spice storage. And then this cabinet's really cool. So it looks like two drawers, but it's actually a pinned drawer front. So it mimics the look of the cabinet next to it, but inside it has deep storage, this Rev-A-Shelf insert for tools, utensils, and pot holders. And then here you have kitchen utensils. So everything you need for cooking, really close to hand, very organized, but we're able to keep this look across the front of the cabinetry. And then we have a standard corner cabinet with our Susan insert.
So one of the first things we do is what we kind of just call a design kickoff meeting, where we sit down with Rick and Kirsten and we talk through design adjectives, pros and cons, things they like about their space, things they want to change, all of those, so I understand when I'm designing their layout and their materials, kind of how to put that together as a package for them so that my concepts are really reflective of what they're looking for in their space.
This is an extra wide trash pullout, which is great. We've got trash and recycling, or double trash if you like. So here we have a double drawer dishwasher. This was also chosen for function as well as long-term accessibility. For more long-term use, you aren't having to bend down to use this. So this is a Ruvati sink. This has sound dampening in it, which I think is wonderful. So it means that when you turn the water on, it hits the sink. It is much quieter, it's not reverberating. And then it is extra wide. This is a very custom sized cabinet to meet that size requirement. And then you have these amazing accessories. And then below, due to the width of the sink, we put in custom size drawer inserts, one for each side, so that you can open one door and pull a drawer insert out instead of having to open both and pull an insert out.
Yeah, my first approach to design is to sit down with Rick and Kirsten and really try to understand like the heart and soul of what they want their space to feel like. I can come up with all the great layouts in the world, but I also really need to understand the materials that they want, because sometimes that does dictate layout a little bit. I might change the way I set up a shower or where I place a vanity depending on the materials we're using. Just materiality in general affects the space a lot. So understanding that while I'm designing the layout is important.
And then over here in the corner, we have my favorite corner cabinet storage. This is a Rev-A-Shelf product. This is super sturdy, super smooth, and makes the absolute most out of this space. So you can see here, it's got 2 tiers of storage. And this one I love because it's using almost every inch in there as much as it possibly can, and it's very, very comfortable and functional to use. And then in this pantry cabinet, we have pull-out shelves, which is kind of a standard nowadays in your pantry. This set, however, we have on a pilaster system, which means that long-term, depending on if storage needs change, the heights of these can be adjusted.
We can talk about the hood.
We should talk about the hood.
Let's talk about the hood.
Yeah.
So the hood was really amazing because I had drawn the hood shape a little bit differently originally. It just returned straight to the wall, and Rick and Kirsten liked that. I wanted something a little bit more organic. I didn't want it just to be straight edge. I felt like that was a little bit more indicative of some of their inspiration, you know, these wind tunnels. I wanted something with some movement to it. There's a lot of square edges and corners in this home, and I wanted to kind of reduce that a little bit and add some softness in. And then in the field, Jeffrey, our remodeling superintendent, had this really amazing idea to turn it into more of an elliptical, which I think took my idea and made it even better. I was so glad that he did that, and Rick and Kirsten loved the idea, and so he took what was a good starting point and made it incredible.
This is kind of the center point a little bit of this kitchen. We kept it the same color, or it picked up a tone from the backsplash in the color. To keep things color washed, we didn't want it to be too busy feeling, but we definitely still wanted it to have a moment. We added that lighting at the top for just a little bit of glow. It draws your eye while still not feeling like it's too much, too busy. They built a frame out of lumber, and then they took drywall, and it's called kerfing, where they put a bunch of little tiny cuts in the back of it so that you can bend it. And then they put a lot of layers of mud on it and put a smooth drywall finish on it and then painted. And that makes it sound really, really simple. It was not. It took a high level of craftsmanship to accomplish this, and I am very excited about it.
They already knew they wanted to open up their space and make it more light and bright and open. They had all these amazing views out their back windows, and it wasn't really something that was accessible throughout the house. And so the light was really only available in these back rooms, the dining room and the family room, and they wanted to let that light be able to filter throughout their whole home.
Right, so in the dining room, we opened up this wall. This was closed here between the entry and the dining. We also removed, there was an angled wall here and a straight wall here, and there was a doorway in this angled wall. We completely removed this to open up this dining space to the rest of the kitchen and the family room. There was also hardwoods underneath carpeting in the living room and dining and some of the family room. So we removed all that carpeting, we patched it and we refinished, and then we ran hardwoods through into the kitchen as well. And then over in the family room, they decided to keep their original fireplace, but wanted to pull a little bit more color in. So we repainted the brick to just kind of freshen it up and bring a little bit more of that color palette in. We also added these art lights in order to support the layered lighting in the home and to highlight the art that the clients had collected over the years that they've lived here. We added in these small gimbal lights, which means that we can directionally point them at the art to help highlight those pieces in their home.
So in the entryway, we originally had a door with 2 original side lights that were stained glass. Those were really sentimental to the family, and so we kept both of them. One we turned into a custom piece of art, and then one of them we kept and reinstalled with glass to bring it back up to code.
In this room, we didn't do a lot other than enhancing what was already here. We refinished the flooring that was under the carpet. We did some minor touch-ups to this fireplace that was existing. And then over here, this is the side light that we removed from the front door. The clients wanted to retain it. It's a piece of their home, it's a piece of their history, it's sentimental to them. We did have to get some minor repairs made, and you can see that here. This color of stained glass is no longer made, so that's a slightly different color, but I think that that kind of adds a little bit to the history of this. We had it made into a custom art piece for the clients. I worked with Rick and Kirsten to kind of create the overall blueprint for this, and then our field crew really is where that came to shine, and they were able to take that idea and concept and really like bring it to life in this backlit piece of art. Yeah. So in this entryway, it was very closed off, it was very dark. This opening was smaller, there was no opening here. There was very little natural light in this space. There were 2 side lights here, stained glass, but being stained glass, not letting a lot of light through, and a solid door. You walk in and it just felt very cave-like. So the goal with this entry is to make it light, bright, open, and really like have visual access when you open this front door to all of these existing windows and this amazing backdrop in their backyard. So in order to accomplish that, we widened this just a little bit from the existing opening to maximize that here. And then we completely opened this up. This was walled off. So this allows a really nice pass through here, as well as this visual line of sight through to all of these windows. And then we also widened this to the maximum amount we could so that we have this nice pass through here that really allows for traffic flow through into the kitchen.
For their home, I took a more holistic approach because their design inspiration was very much, they have traveled a lot and they wanted something that was reminiscent of some of their travels to Red Rocks. They really wanted to be reminded of like wind striations and canyon tunnels and lots of water and desert, but they really wanted a Pacific Northwest feel to that. So not as bold as those colors might be, you know, that really intense bright orange or that really intense, you know, bright sky blue that you might see in Arizona. They were not looking for something quite that saturated.
So these railings are walnut. They are fully custom built. This is a Feeney rail and cable system. This is also custom installed. So our field crew completely hand built this. They built most of this in our warehouse and then finished assembling this on site. And this is just beautiful. We went with walnut to match the cabinets in the kitchen, and we also felt like it just really pulled out some of the really beautiful darker tones in this existing tile on the floor. So this door is really fun. This is where Rick and Kirsten, I think Rick especially, wanted that like pop of color. So we went a little fun with this. This is also an area where it's easy to repaint your front door. So if they ever decide like, let's not, someday we can repaint this. But I think this is really fun where we have this kind of burst of energy when you walk up to the house or leave the home. I think it's a joyful element to the design, and I think it really pulls out some of the colors in this stained glass side light. So one of the really cool things about this door is that this is wider than a standard 36-inch door, which the client specifically requested so that they could get furniture in and out of it easier. And I think that's a really amazing element. So let's see there. Much easier to get your couch through. And it also, I think, it gives an element of weight to the door, which feels very good as you open and close it. So not only is it really functional, there is an element of it feels excellent every day as you use it.
So in the primary bedroom, we wanted to expand their primary bathroom, partially for aging in place, like long-term planning.
That's so cool. No architectural program and rendering is going to mimic the absolute sense of peace and calm that you feel standing in this space right now. Like, this is amazing. This makes me so happy for them. So originally on this home, there was a exterior porch here. At some point it was walled in, but what was left was a half wall here and a big header here. So the goal of the project was to completely remove all of that. In order to do that, we had to do some fun engineering and recess a beam into the ceiling. And that allowed us to completely open up this space and really allow all of this light and this amazing view into the rest of the room. And it really makes this space, even though we expanded the bathroom and closet into the room, it makes this space feel incredibly expansive. All right, so the original bathroom was not tiny, but not the most spacious. And one of the goals here was to create a space that not only was comfortable to use now, but also comfortable to use as aging in place. Rick and Kirsten would like to live here as long as possible. And so keeping in mind functionality for the here and now and functionality long term, We kept this shower door quite wide, and that allows for long-term use, maybe a mobility aid, just lots of wide open space right here. Inside the shower, we have a bench, which allows for being able to sit, use the shower. That is an excellent thing now as well as long-term. And then we also have a hand bar placed here as an aid, which is honestly nice now. Showers are slippery places. It would be a good thing to have standard in more showers. And then long-term, it is an excellent aid to have in the shower. And it's placed just so you can stand up and have that as a stability support. This material here is Decton. This is a super cool material. It is very, very durable. This is all one slab. And then this bench here is also built out of this. So this over here, where the bench extrudes from the glass, this has a 3-corner miter. And this is a really technically difficult thing to achieve. And this is where we have really amazing countertop suppliers that we work with who are able to achieve something that has that level of technical difficulty. So this is Decton in the back of the niche. And then up here we have down lighting. This is recessed lighting in the niche. I think this is a great addition to your shower. It allows you to have some kind of layered lighting. You could take a shower with just this lighting in here. This is a really great way to have enough light to see what you're doing, but not need to have that full glaring blast. Another way to add that layered lighting is we have these small spotlights in the ceiling, and these are on a dimmer so that again you can adjust the amount of light that you have in there. Another really fun feature is, given that the length of shower that we're able to achieve, we were able to put in this towel storage bar here, so that instead of having to go out of the shower and go get your towel, you literally just walk over your towels here. It is far enough away from the shower, and the shower is pointed towards the glass. Your towel's never gonna get wet. It's accessibility, but it's also just very practical. So this is also that Decton material, this countertop. It matches the pieces in the shower and the niche. This is a custom floating vanity with down lighting underneath. Then again, that adds to that layered lighting. You could have just that on as a night light. It adds a little touch of elegance, and it feels just a little bit of like quiet luxury in the space. The other design feature in here that we thought through in terms of accessibility with Rick and Kirsten is this is a walk-in shower. There is no curb, so there's no long-term concerns with trip hazards. So all of this water drains directly back into this linear drain. And so this entire floor has been waterproofed. You're able to just completely walk in and walk out with no barrier.
From talking to them, they're thrilled with it. I think they were some of my favorite clients to work with in terms of, I felt like we were able to strike a really good balance of me being able to bring them like the solution to what they were asking for, and then being able to give me like good critical feedback of like, yes, and we want to change this because it's their home and it's, you know, it's my project I'm working on, but it's not my home. I'm not gonna live here. And so I think that their ability to give us that critical feedback resulted in a project that they're really, really happy with. And that was amazing for me as the designer to be able to create that for them and to be able to hear that from them at the end.